Let's be honest for a second. What's the real goal of learning? Is it just about getting that perfect score, that shiny A on a report card? Or is there something more to it? Something deeper, something that actually sticks with you long after the test is over? Well, that's exactly what we're going to dive into today. We're going to explore what makes learning truly, genuinely meaningful.
So, here's our roadmap. First, we'll tackle what I call the tyranny of the A. Then, we're going to get clear on what meaningful learning actually is. From there, we'll get super practical with some real pathways to deeper understanding. And finally, we'll look at the awesome long-term payoff of learning that actually lasts.
All right, let's jump right into Section 1, the tyranny of the A. This is all about the surprisingly high cost of our obsession with grades.
Come on, you know you have. We've all been there, right? You pull that all-nighter, you chug coffee, you memorize dates, formulas, vocab words, whatever it takes. You walk in, you ace the test, you feel that huge rush of relief, and then, poof. A week later, it's like it never even happened. That whole cycle just screams that there's a problem with learning just for the test.
It's what you could call the grade treadmill. We're putting in a ton of effort just running as fast as we can to keep up with quizzes, papers, and exams. But are we actually going anywhere? Most of the time, we're just stuck in place, not really moving forward in what we understand. It's exhausting and it doesn't get us anywhere in the long run.
And you can see the trade-off pretty clearly right here. When we're laser-focused on just getting the grade, our anxiety level, through the roof. Sure, our short-term recall might be amazing for a few hours, but look at the cost. Our long-term, real understanding just tanks. We're literally trading knowledge that lasts for a number that's forgotten by next semester.
And this really gets down to two completely different mindsets. On one side, you've got learning for a grade. It's all about outside motivation, a fear of failing, and just doing exactly what the rubric says. On the other side, you have learning for meaning. This is driven by your own curiosity. It's about remembering things for the long haul, seeing mistakes as just feedback, and being excited to explore things that aren't even on the test. It's a total game changer.
Okay, so if that's the problem, what's the solution? Let's flip the script. Welcome to Section 2, where we're going to define this much better alternative, meaningful learning.
So what is meaningful learning, really? At its core, it's all about connecting new stuff to what you already know, and, this is key, in a way that matters to you. Think of it like this. It's not about just dumping a bunch of new files onto a hard drive. It's about weaving that new information into the very fabric of your brain. That's how you build knowledge that actually sticks around.
You can really break it down into three main pillars. First up, personal connection. It has to matter to you somehow. Second, real-world context. You've got to be able to see how it works out there in the real world. And third, intrinsic motivation. This is the big one. You learn because you genuinely want to know, not because someone told you to.
Okay, that all sounds great, right? But how do we actually do it? This brings us to Section 3. This is where the rubber meets the road. We're talking practical ways to shift your focus away from grades and toward real, honest-to-goodness growth. Here are 3 things you can literally start doing today. Step 1. Find your personal why. Always ask yourself, okay, how does this connect to my own life, my hobbies, my future plans? Step 2. Explain it out loud. Seriously. Try to teach a concept to a friend or family member. It forces your brain to really understand it, not just memorize it. And finally, Step 3. Apply it. Take what you've learned and use it to solve a problem. That is the ultimate test of whether you truly get it.
So the whole point, the big mindset shift, is this. You have to stop being a passive receiver of information, like an empty bucket waiting to be filled, and instead, you need to become an active builder of knowledge. You're the architect. You're constructing your own understanding.
So, what's the reward for all this? Why should you bother making this shift? Well, that brings us to our final section, learning that lasts. Let's talk about the incredible long-term payoff when you learn with purpose.
And look, this isn't just about feeling better about school. The rewards are real, tangible skills that will serve you for your entire life. Yeah, you get deeper knowledge, obviously, but you also get a boost in creativity, a curiosity that never goes away, the ability to adapt to change, and way stronger problem-solving skills. These are the things that actually matter out there.
Which brings us to this number, a 4.0. We put so much pressure on ourselves to hit this mark or something close to it. But you have to remember, a single number can never, ever define your potential, your passion, or how smart you actually are. True intelligence is just so much bigger and more complex than that.
The famous psychologist Jean Piaget just nailed it when he said this. The goal of education is not to increase the amount of knowledge, but to create the possibilities for a child to invent and discover. I mean, wow, that just perfectly captures the spirit of this whole idea. It's about opening doors for yourself, not just cramming your head full of facts.
So, I'll leave you with a challenge, a question to really think about. As you go about your week, what is one small thing you can do to learn for meaning and not just for a grade? Finding your own answer to that question could be the beginning of a whole new relationship with learning.